Unification, we're still in pursuit of the just concluded All Progressives Congress governorship primary, and we're examining that process. This time, we may be getting a bird's eye view as I bid you welcome to your preferred Hard Talk investigative program on TVC. I am Bukola Samuel Wemimo. Today, we're taking on a man I describe as the one at the center of it all. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Don't miss out, so stay with us. Thank you for staying tuned. My guest today on Fireworks is the All Progressives Congress State Chairman, Ekiti, High Chief Jide Awe. Thank you for your time, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. I'm going to start pointedly because the primary has been concluded.
Yeah.
Why is Dr. John Kayode Fayemi, the man who lost woefully to incumbent Ayodele Fayose in 2014, your flag bearer in this coming election?
Because we believe that Dr. Kayode Fayemi and APC in 2014 performed creditably, but we were overrun by the power that be. What you are talking of being an election was really a warfare. It wasn't an election then. We were captured. In the words of the then President Jonathan, he said, go and capture the Ekiti. And we know what it means by saying when you should go and capture it, particularly from the President and the Chief Command of the Armed Forces. So it wasn't an election then. But now, we believe that Dr. Kayode Fayemi is a man of the moment, anytime, any day. For the delegates to have decided again to vote for him, they have not made any mistake. We have not made any mistake at all. Dr. Kayode Fayemi is qualified eminently to run for the governorship of Ekiti State in 2018, and the delegate has spoken. We believe in what he has done within the 4 years while he was there.
But you know that if we added all the votes, valid votes cast at that primary election, he may have gotten perhaps just nearly 2/4 of the vote.
That was the election for you.
If all the other aspirants had come together, one other aspirant would have defeated him.
But they did not. The constitution of our party says the person with the highest number of votes. And those who drafted our constitution knew then that at the end of the day, one person will win. So he was the highest, he scored the highest number of votes.
I raised that because you're talking about his popularity.
It's popular.
So it means that on a certain scale,
2,326.
other aspirants are also popular.
Yeah, they're equally popular. But 2,326 votes, that is the number of delegates, it's called over 900. So for God's sake. And that was the dictate of our constitution, that the person with the highest number of votes should be declared. Now,
you said you went to war during the election
2014.
in 2014.
It was a war.
But you know that we could stretch the argument a little further.
Yeah,
even if party leaders were arrested, if...
party leaders were arrested, people were molested, people were conquered.
Even at that, if the, the Ekiti indigents, Ekiti citizens were left to exercise their franchise.
Under what condition?
Didn't most of them go without, shouldn't they have voted without the influence of any party leader?
You see, not party leaders alone that were arrested. When the shepherd is struck, what happens to the sheep? They will scatter. That was what the Bible says. And in political parlance too, when the leadership is arrested, when the leadership are not allowed to enter into where they are going to vote, the members of the party will scatter. That was exactly what happened. Major stakeholders in 2014 election were molested, we were arrested, we were traumatized. 4 days before the election, we knew what would happen on election day. So a very large number of us were not on ground.
So if you were on ground, you would have been able to influence...
For God's sake. Not influence.
Your...
You will be, you see,
party members,
not influence
or
party
Ekiti people
members.
generally to vote for your candidate.
Generally.
You have been able to influence them.
Not influencing them this time around. They know what they are going to do.
And so why didn't they
but
do
in
it?
A situation,
When left alone, they still chose to vote the other candidate.
In a village, when the political figure is no longer there, they don't even know what becomes of his fate. Whisk away in the middle of the night. What do you expect the villagers to do?
So you're saying that they didn't have
condition in 2014.
They couldn't exercise their franchise independently.
They couldn't.
They don't have a mind of their own.
In the circumstances that occurred, it was difficult for an ordinary citizen, a voter, to even come out to vote. When you realize that this has never been the case in a community where they've never cycled a policeman, not to talk of soldiers. But the whole street is occupied by soldiers of different uniforms, and they are saying the same thing. And when party leaders are not around, so if you see your leader, you will be comfortable that the election will go well.
But when your leader is not there, you can still demonstrate your support for your leader.
Under what condition?
On your own. You have a mind of your own.
No, under what condition? Under a terrible situation, when you see dogs, when you see horses, when you see all manners of uniform occupy the street in places like Ekiti. These are unusual situations in 2014. And that was exactly why people ran away. That was why people said, no, I won't even go out to vote. And I can mention specific places where these things happened.
Go ahead. In
Ado Ekiti, majority of our party leaders were molested. They were arrested 24 hours before the time. Even look at the, what do they call it? The rally we held on Thursday preceding Saturday election.
But the
people
voters...
people like Amechi, the present minister, people like Oshi Omole, were not allowed to enter Ekiti.
What were they coming to do? Are they coming to vote? Were they coming
to
vote?
Not at all. They were coming a solidarity rally. That was on Thursday. It wasn't on Saturday.
But were voters' hands forced to thumbprint for the PDP in that election?
Election will be free and fair if the circumstances and the atmosphere preceding that election is free. But in a situation where 4 days to the election, it was like a warfare. And you don't expect people to go out freely and cast their votes. That was what happened in 2014.
Now we're talking about the results, how the votes
and
were
I told you the
distributed.
instruction by the president today. They go and capture the Ekiti. People like the then Minister of Defense, the police chief, all of them, Obanikoro and all these people, they were asked to go and capture the Ekiti. And when that instruction, if such instruction is given by the president, you know what will happen on the field.
Now, let's make progress.
Yeah.
You said earlier, we were talking earlier about the votes distribution and how the other aspirants did not step down to support another one to counter the popularity of the eventual winner.
Yeah.
And I want to know what you as party leader did to prevail on them to toe that line, especially after the botched primary where they all complained against the winner.
You see, even before then, we have tried as much as possible because the constitution of our party permits whoever interested to come out. That was why primaries was actually established in the constitution. And 33 people came out in Ekiti to contest that primary. We appealed to them normally. We inform our party leaders that these people need to be talked to. People like Baba Bisi Akonde, Achiwaju, and Chief Akinyere of Southwest Vice Chairman. We had a series of meetings with these people. But, you know, in political parlance, everybody believes that he can have the day. And there is a way to settle it, and that's the primary day. We took them even to Lagos. We were in Abuja to convince them that only one seat is available, and 33 of you are jostling for it. At the end of the day, they all agreed that they are going to the field. The botched primary was caused primarily by both natural and artificial mistakes. In the first instance, the rain disturbed us, and as a result of this, we have influx of people into the arena. And that was exactly why the whole system was disrupted. But we cut our teeth and we dotted our I's for the following week, and everything was in order. And even in between, we still managed to talk to the aspirants that, you know, you are occupying a particular post, one person. But, you know, like I've said, in political parlance, you see people, because they have supporters, they have to gear them up, that this is what you should do. So the way to resolve it is the primary, which has been conducted, and a winner has emerged, and that winner is the candidate of our party. But and we fought rally round again to talk to our people.
But protesters who purportedly removed you from office recently believe otherwise. They believe that the primary was scuttled from the onset because you were openly supporting one aspirant. That's the winner, Dr. Kayode Fayemi.
Do they remove me?
They say that there's a new executive at the APC Secretariat led by one Kayode Ogunjobi.
Are they performing now?
Have you
visited the party?
They said you were smuggled out of the party secretariat by police.
And actually,
on that said day.
I wasn't in the office on that day. And there is one thing I want you to know in politics. That it's right for people to protest when things did not go their way. They should have their say. But in doing that, we must be decorum with it. This is my 12th year as the chairman of APC in Ekiti State. I started with AC. You should expect all those things. I refer to that as baptism of fire because it has never happened. People coming to protest. They said they were looking for the result of the election, which in actual fact, we did not conduct that election. The election was conducted by the governor of Nasarawa State, in person of Tanko Al-Makura. So, for a group of people to just gather one morning and say they want to tell their, what did they call it, the result of that election, it was a misnomer. They are members of the party, but there are some infiltrations among them, which actually we have dealt with that.
Infiltrations? Who's sponsoring the infiltration?
I wouldn't know. But like I was telling you, when that thing
But you're confident that it's an infiltration. So you should know its source, or you suspect the source.
I suspected there were infiltrators who managed to enter into their midst, and they, I won't call them miscreants anyway. That would be a very hard word.
They also allege that you're hobnobbing with the current government in Ekiti State, led by Governor Ayodele Fayoshi, and that he allegedly gave you 75 million naira.
I wish that is so.
Because I need scuttle the primaries.
I need money. I need money. I wish it is so.
And they said
it's only you don't know. If only you don't know Fayoshi. Can Fayoshi give you money without
Let me get through to the allegation.
Yeah.
And that you sponsored an executive member, Demola Adeusi, and another senior member, Albert Faleye, to disrupt the primary as seen physically on television.
Let me tell you.
Did you sponsor those executive members?
I didn't, and I wouldn't do that. In any case, I won't do it. And secondly,
but there's no
I don't have any interaction.
There's no smoke without fire.
There could be fire without smoke. There could be. Because this is the era of people just going out to gather rumor and start spreading it. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have anything to do with Fayoshi. And you should know Fayoshi now. How can Fayoshi give us 75 million naira without collateral? And you know that man. If he gives you anything, he's going to ask. He will ask questions. He's not a man that you can just go to and hobnob with him. We have been together for the past, since 2003. He knows me very well. So, as far as I'm concerned, I cannot negotiate my party. What would have dragged me to that level of negotiating the party that I'll be sitting?
But this is the same governor that's granted you state pardon, withdrawing the murder charge.
When they found out that the charges were frivolous, he found out that the charges were frivolous. They leveled the murder charges against me, and this has no basis at all. And he discovered that it was all bundles of lies.
So there was no negotiation.
Which negotiation? Can you negotiate such a thing? Can you negotiate? It wasn't the state pardon, please. a court process was going on, and he discovered that all these allegations were frivolous. The witnesses cannot come to the court to defend whatever they have in stock. And he realized that it is baseless. Continue with the case. And he asked the Attorney General to come and quash it. And I wish, I'll repeat, you know the person of Fayushi. There's no way you negotiate with him. And not even a person of myself will go to Fayushi and negotiate freedom with him. I won't do that. So, already when the case was instituted in 2013, it was quashed. They came up and raised it, and they find out that it was baseless. So he has to come out and say, it's Attorney General should go and quash the case, which was done.
But I still ask about your popularity as state chairman, especially following that allegation. The only aspirant and now candidate who condemned your purported removal from office is the one that is said that you are said to be supporting, or you are alleged to be supporting, Dr. Kayode Fayemi.
Well, if it is possible, we can go back again to conduct that primary. Whoever is not satisfied with the result of that primary, let us go back to the field and see whether the same person will still emerge or not. And if you know the composition of those who voted, it's right away from the world level. And Dr. Kayode Fayemi has been the governor of that state for 4 years. What he did in his 4 years, up to today, nobody can challenge it. In fact, most of his achievement has been destroyed by the present administration. And that was why some of us wish that he go back there to resuscitate some of these things. So that primary was conducted under a free and fair atmosphere, with no influence at all. And if they say somebody who has been in the saddle of the party for the past 12 years, now influence a primary for somebody who has been governor for 4 years, you could see the argument very well. So if I have interest in a candidate, that interest is subsumed. I did not flout it at all.
So which of the candidates did you have interest in
I won't tell
that
you,
was subsumed?
The 33 of them are they were all my candidates, and I relate with them very well. Even I have one among them, a lady that I used to call my candidate, but eventually he did not win. It's called one vote.
All right.
So what I'm telling you is that politics, the way you see it outside, is not the way we people played it inside. There are a lot of things that transfer within us that we will not see. The more you look, the less you see. But all we know is that whatever problems we have to solve it amicably, and politically too. That was what we have done in Ekiti State. A winner has emerged in person of Dr. Kayode Fayemi, and by the grace of God, we are going to defeat the PDP government in Ekiti State.
We'll find out how you'll do that.
We will do it.
That will be after the break. You're watching Fireworks. Today my guest is the Ekiti State APC Chairman, High Chief Jide Awe. Stay with us. There'll be more questions after this break. Thank you for staying tuned today on Fireworks. My guest is the Ekiti State APC Chairman, High Chief Jide Awe. We have been examining the issues that transpired, of course, that may have led to the first botched primary, and more background to the success of the second primary. We're moving on to look at how indeed the APC can defeat the PDP government in Ekiti State in the coming election. So how will your own seemingly unpopular candidates defeat the man of the people, so to speak, in Ekiti State?
Yeah. How is he going to?
Yes, how? How do you intend to achieve that?
The election is for Ekiti people. It is now left for Ekiti people to take that decision. And in taking that decision, they have to look at the scorecard. Good enough. Dr. Kayode Fayemi is not new to Ekiti people. It's 4 years between 2010 to 2015. There are a lot of achievements made, which on today cannot be raised in the minds of Ekiti people. And like I've told you, the election that saw him out of office was no election. It was a warfare, and we were not prepared for war. in 2014. That was how we were defeated. And, you know, in all honesty, we went back to drawing board. We look at where we made mistakes, if any, and we are going out correcting them. Today in Ekiti State, you will believe that nothing is moving. Nothing is moving. We left the office without paying the workers a farthing. We pay their salaries as when due, and we give them all the necessary incentives that will make their work easier than before. But today, the government of Ekiti is owing them 8 months. In fact, I wonder how workers are feeding, how they are paying their school, their children's school fees.
But backlog of salaries is a problem across states of the Federation.
But it's minimal in so many places.
And it is
and we have
also
no
prevalent in more of APC states.
We have no reasons to owe
than
in
even
Ekiti
PDP states.
We have no reason to owe in Ekiti State. And the simple reason is this grandiose projects that people are doing hereabouts, constructing bridges where there should be none, doing projects that has no meaning. And in any case, a lot of the money, you cannot say where it goes. So I want to assure you that the people are aware of all this.
But that's exactly what the administration is being commended for, transforming the face of Ekiti State such that in years to come, you'll appreciate
that has no meaning.
You'll appreciate the value of those projects.
The project has value when they are related to the people. A project will have value when you can use that project. A project will have value when it can contribute to the welfare of the people. But these projects you are looking at,
the first step in improving the quality of lives of the people is to invest in infrastructure.
You invest in infrastructure that will translate to the improvement of the life of the people. But what I'm telling you that the project you mentioned in Ekiti, even the market, see women that have been displaced for the past 3 years. Their livelihoods, they cannot market, they cannot do anything. Yet, the project cannot be completed as we speak. Then you see of what importance is a project that has no meaning to the livelihood of the people. You only see this in Ekiti and probably in Ikere, and we have almost 150,000 villages in Ekiti State. Where else is any project going on?
The same questions
we knew what we left
are being asked
in 2014.
Who was the immediate past governor.
Yeah.
Why did he build a new government house? Why did he build a pavilion? And of course, the pavilion has been queried as being structurally defective. So the same questions are being asked your own candidate.
The pavilion, if completed, it was still under construction when we left. If completed, will have serviced the people of Ekiti State. If completed, a lot of internally generated revenue will have been coming from that place. New government house, for God's sake, that is the pride of Ekiti people. Where it is situated.
Really?
It is the pride of Ekiti people.
That only the number one citizen can occupy?
Go to any
How
state
does it become the pride of Ekiti people?
Go to any state in this federation where the capital is situated, there must be a befitting government house. For God's sake, where the present government house is in Ekiti State.
How does it pay the rent of the people of Ekiti? How does it pay their bills?
It pays their bills. The government house is our pride, like I've said. And we cannot be existing as a state over 20 years without having a befitting government house. The present place where we are using was the former rest house of the old Western region. And if we call ourselves a state, we must have a place where whoever is our arrowhead must stay. So I'm saying that what we left, the development in Nkogosi, we have started generating revenue from that place. Up to today, it has stopped. The reborn bricks, which was moribund for about 22 years when we came, we resuscitated it, and today is back to form. So we have a backlog of issues when we come in, which we are going to start again. And I'm saying that the present government in Ekiti State has nothing to show for occupying that place for the past 3 years. and workers are suffering. The local government service is nothing. Nothing is going on in the local government area of Ekiti State. Like I've said, 150 towns, nothing is going on there. So what we are saying is that the people knows what we have done for them. The agent in Ekiti State knows what we have done for them. The employment that we created when we were there, that will have been abrogated, which we are going to resuscitate immediately we get back there. So I know for sure that was why the delegates realized that the best person for this job is the person who have done it till 2014 and that it should continue.
Well,
so we have not made any mistake.
The Ekiti people will decide. But
Ekiti
just
people
before,
will decide, but the delegates are part of Ekiti people.
Yes,
yeah.
But just before we wrap up, how easy will it be for you to convince all the other delegates to now rally their own supporters to vote for Dr. Kadi Fayemi in this coming election?
Not delegates, you will have
because
said
we have
the contestants.
spoken to quite of them.
You will have said the contestants.
Quite a number. We've spoken to quite a number of them, and one with perhaps the highest number of supporters appears to be undecided.
You see, that was why I told you initially that there are some things that goes on in political balance which you may not understand.
Help us understand.
If I tell you the number of meetings we have held, both in Abuja, in Ado Ekiti, and even this morning before I left Ado for Akure, I've held meetings. These aspirants are one. We have forgotten all those things that divided us 2-3 months ago. We are now coming together.
We spoke to the aspirants, by the way, after your meeting in Abuja. So
we spoke with some of them.
Yeah.
We have agreed. I had a meeting with them on Thursday, just Thursday last week. Unanimously, they have all agreed that we are going to work together because APC is the mother for all of us. That is the binding force. And I've told them they should all return to their units, to their wards, to see to it that we have a formidable force to counter whatever force the PDP is bringing up. So, to a very large extent, we have forgotten the issue of primaries. We are now focusing on how to organize ourselves to face the opposition. That is where we are. So if anybody is saying that it's not ready to cooperate, for God's sake, why? 33 people just live for one position. At the end of the day, one person will occupy it. And the person that occupies it now is Dr. Kadi Fayemi, who is now the candidate of our party. We will go out to support him.
We wish you the very best
in your
bid to rivaling the popularity of the incumbent government in Ekiti
you are talking of the popularity, which is negative. That popularity you are talking is negative. I won't say more than that.
All right, we'll leave the Ekiti people to decide.
To decide, exactly.
That's our package today on Fireworks, and we've been able to come up close with the issues and, of course, with the man at the center of it all in Ekiti State, the person of High Chief Jide Awe. We thank you for joining us, but we urge you to join us again, same time next week, when we'll bring you another interesting edition of the program. I am Bukola Samuel Wemimo. Bye for now.